Hi everybody, this is Ryan again. We're going to make a video this time on part 2 of this module. And this part covers using vertical lookup. And basically vertical lookup will help you build a data set. It helps you combine multiple data sets together. Now the key to this is that the data sets have to have a common key or a common value that links students on one tab or one set of data to students in another set of data. So you're going to use the same data set. So you'll see here's my data set. And let's go back to that students. Let's go to the students tab this time. I think it's the green one. It's right here, students. And notice how I got this green column here, student number. Okay, so that is our common key. This is common to every student. Now sometimes this will be a student number. So like for us in Emporia, we use PowerSchool. So this will be like a PowerSchool number for us. And if you're a student in Kansas, you have a state student number, which is like this number here. So this would be the state student number. So in these cases, our students have two common keys. Some data sets we get back the student number from PowerSchool. Some data sets we get the state number. So an example would be like attendance data. It would come back with a student number. So you'll see here is that same student number. So that allows us to match data up using the vertical lookup in that video you just watched. So if we go to the state math assessment though, you'll notice we have a state student number. And the PowerSchool number is not there. So we can use this state student number. We'll make it blue. We'll go back to the Students tab. Here's that same state student number. So it's also a common key. These two numbers describe this student. So that's our common key, and that's important. So what we're going to do is we're going to work down through this module. And I'm going to add to this a little bit as we go through it. So what you're seeing here isn't quite done. The module you'll actually see is a little bit different because I'm kind of building it as I go. But what we're going to do is we're going to use VLOOKUP to add data to our student tab, to our green tab. And we could add some data like grades, ESL, ethnicity, reading data, etc. We'll do a few of these, and then you'll kind of see what's going on. And I'll put some formulas in here to help you out a little bit. So let's get started. So notice that you have your basic student set here, and we have our demographics tab. And notice I have a grade level here. So we want to add this grade level to our students sheet. So what we're going to do is first off, we need to know the column for that is. So we're going to add the column. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's the 8th column right now. Now yours might be different because you have different columns here. But from what I have right now, that is the 8th column over. So I'm going to go to my Students tab, and I'm going to add grade. And I'm going to start using my formula. So I'm going to go equals VLOOKUP. Then I'm going to choose my student number because that's my common key. So comma. Then I'm going to go to my demographics tab. And I'm going to select all of my data. And then all my data all the way down. I'm going to lock in my range by putting $signs on both sides of the letters. Just like this. And then I'm going to do my index, which is my 8. And I'm going to use the word false. I think you saw in the video they use the 0. I like typing the word false, but either way works. And notice how it brings in the 5. And then it was going to do autofill, but it didn't. So this time I'm going to take my mouse and mouse over that little box there in the corner. Double click, and it will fill down my formula. So now you can see my grades. So here was the formula that I used to do that one. Here's the formula. Now again, I chose 8 because that's where I was at that time. If you have more columns on this demographic sheet, that number might change. Okay, let's try a reading. So if you go to your A reading tab, here is A reading. And let's take a look at the fall national percentile. So that's right here, national percentile. Let's highlight it yellow. So we want to bring this value into our sheet. So here's our common key again, and we're going to bring in this value. So this value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the fifth value. And we're going to bring in the fall A reading national percentile. So let's go back to our students tab. And let's make that column right there. And we're going to bring in that data. So we'll do VLOOKUP, so equals VLOOKUP. And we're going to bring in our common key, which is the student number in this case. Then we're going to go to our A reading data. And we're going to start here at student data. And I'm just going to scroll over and then scroll all the way down. Now a shortcut here is that sometimes I don't like to fill all the way down. So notice I'm at 160. I know that in Emporia we have about maybe 10,000 kids. So I can change this value to like 50,000. So I'm going to look at 50,000 rows. Then I'm going to look at the fifth one over. And I'm going to do a false. And what you can't forget is you've got to put your dollar signs around your letters. Just like that. And that's 35. So let's fill that down. And remember, there's a couple ways to do that. The next way I'm going to do is I'm going to select all my data all the way down. And I'm going to press Control D. So Control D. So there's my values. And then here is this formula. Let's put that formula on that sheet to help you out. There you go. So there's that formula. Get the parentheses off. So all these are about the same. So you'll need to go through and add all this data to your sheet and then add 3 more of your choice. So I hope that helps. If you have questions, please let me know. Thanks.